Hi Sean, how's it going?
I'm good, man. Hello. I like how we just went straight right into like formalities from like talking nonsense right before this.
Yeah, we gotta get like the trash talking out of the way so that we can get straight to business. Unlike the episode with Zul where it was mostly segue to every single thing aside from the main topics on hand. And for those who think that you are saying double, no, Sean and I are not related. We look kind of similar, but we are not siblings.
Like I think this has happened so much. Like people saying that we look like each other
Are you
at
serious?
shows and everything. Yeah. I had like a few friends like I think like when we were at a show, right? Then like I have a friend that come up to me and say, "Hey, that guy looks like you." Then I say, "Yeah. It happens all the time."
I had people like going up to me, it's like, is Sean your brother? And I'm just like, yeah, yeah, we are brothers, man. Like, can you not see the similarities? Like, we are both fucking good looking, man. What are you on about?
I mean, you're way more good looking than me, but like, you know what? It's okay.
Eh, can say that, man. I mean, we are like 2 pieces of the pod, man. But
Yeah,
that
bro.
that as well. Like, since we are 2 pieces of the pod, we have known each other even way before, like when whatever that we're doing came to existence. Be it you in various bands or me doing like content creation, and I think it started out when we were just jamming together for
Yeah.
for fun.
I just like I was because like we talked about doing this interview, right? Then like I spoke about it on my podcast. Then like I mentioned that I mentioned how we know each other. Like we've known each I think we met when I was 19. When I was 19. So this was like 10 years ago, I think.
Thereabouts. Yeah, it was definitely. I think it was definitely around that period of time.
Yeah. It was a really, really long time ago, like when we first met. And then we played in a hymn cover band together, like for a very brief period. Like I think we jammed like twice or thrice or something.
Yeah, I think we just did
Or
that
was
for.
it?
I think it was about 3 times at most. We just did it for like shits and giggles.
Yeah, just like for the fun of it. But it was so fun though. Like it was really fun doing it.
Yeah, it was, and I didn't think much of it aside from the fact that Miza, the guy whose place
Yeah,
that we went
Miza.
to, we just went to his place, and I think this was the first time I actually went to a place that was a home recording studio. And when I saw the setup, I was amazed, man. He just practically took his own room and just one of his own rooms and just turned it into a place to jam.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm just wondering like how is he doing now? Like I haven't heard from him in so long.
Okay, so for Miza, aside from his day job, he is
Mm-hmm.
still playing music. He has a band called Solo Head, which they release like a couple of tracks and stuff. I can send the link to you and you can check it
Oh
out.
yeah. Okay. Sure. I just don't know why. I just don't know why I haven't caught up like with what he's doing or anything. I think it's just like it didn't like I just didn't stumble upon him on social media or anything. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's,
just
that's,
didn't.
that's the tricky thing about like social media sometimes because when I spoke to Bo Scorbang earlier, when we were talking
Mm-hmm.
about ritual, people tend to overlook things or people just have a very short attention span where maybe they see something or they just maybe just scroll through too fast and then they didn't realize if someone's project is still active or otherwise. So in the case of Miza, what happened was that it used to be the Misfit Ramones and they
Yeah.
kind of rebranded themselves as Soto Head. So they're going towards like a different direction. But the thing is that because they didn't publicize it too much, maybe that's why it went under the radar.
Right. Okay. Maybe that's why. Yeah. That's why I didn't see it at all. I wonder how the rest of the band is doing. I bumped into Sham Ruslan. Um, I think 2 years ago at some Prudential Carnival thing.
That's obvious to be someone.
Yeah, I know. It's so weird. But yeah, I bumped into him there. But who's the bassist? Justin, is it?
Justin.
Is it Justin? Right? Yeah. I haven't seen Justin in like 1,000 years.
Yeah, the FI man. I didn't even know. I don't know. I didn't know what happened to him. But speaking
Mm-hmm.
of, okay, but now since you're on the subject on social media visibility, so you
Yeah.
have your own podcast. We'll talk
Yeah.
about that first. And
Okay.
the first thing that came to mind when you released that podcast was what led you to decided to come up with one? Because as you know, like in Singapore, not everyone's to the idea of podcasting, let alone
Yeah.
trying to talk about themselves. I believe there were a couple of guys who were toying with the idea and then it just went dead in the water. But you decided to have a stab at it, and so far you produced a couple of episodes available on Spotify.
Yeah. It's available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and a few others, but I can't remember because the distributor helps me to do it. I'm not gonna lie to you and tell you that I do everything. Literally, the work has been done by the distributor on the website. Like all you have to do is just link it up. But yeah, I don't know what made me want to do it. Like it was just one of those thoughts where because I'm very very active on Twitter. So like I just one day just tweeted like I feel like starting a podcast, but like, I don't know what to talk about, you know. Then I just tweeted about it. Then I think like the rest people were saying like, hey, you should do it, that kind of thing. Then like I talked to a bunch of like a WhatsApp group with some friends, right? So I just said like, hey guys, should I start a podcast? And then they were like, yeah, bro, do it. And I was like, okay, sure. All right, then. Then so I decided to like make it about local music lah. I just wanted to do something that's very because like something you. So I asked myself, what am I very passionate about? What can I probably not run out of things to talk about? And it's definitely about local music. So that's when I started. That's when I decided to do a podcast on local music. Then when I did my first episode, right, I really wasn't expecting anything. I thought like maybe like 20 people are gonna listen to it or something. And I was shocked because like on my first episode I got 180 downloads. Yeah, and I was like, what? People actually give a shit about me. And then like give a shit about what I have to say. So I was actually very shocked about that. Then that's when it led me to make it a bit more to make it a weekly thing. And then like I had people come up to me saying like, you should monetize your podcast, you should start making money from it, you should start doing ads and everything. Then I was just like, nah, not really. Like I just want to like make this fun. I don't want this to be serious. Then like people were telling me like, you should start scripting your podcast, like writing a script for and everything. Then I just like, nah, I just want it to be organic. It doesn't have to be too serious. If it's too serious, I'm not gonna enjoy it anymore. Yeah. So that's what.
I'm with you on that as well, because how virtual visitation works is that I ring up friends, we just have a casual conversation, and we just talk whatever that comes to mind. And for me, the things that I will bring up, it's stuff that will just come on the fly, you know, it's spontaneous. And this is something that I prefer as opposed to like listing down a list of questions to ask and everything, because it feels very rehearsed and you feel as though you're not getting much out of it. And the beauty about doing things unscripted is that when you ask questions, you are actively engaging with your interviewee, and you think about things that happened in the past or things that you guys used to do and stuff. And I think that's way more awesome because as a listener, for example, like when I listen to your podcast, I listen to it because these stories, I know for a fact that it just comes at the top of your head.
Yeah.
And the emotions that you portray, and sometimes your occasional swearing and such, it adds genuine emotions. And I want to listen to that because I don't want to hear like, especially like in the context of local content creation, you want to hear genuine feelings that people can relate to, and not hear something that is westernized or very
Yeah.
polished. Because there's not a reason why people want to check out your stuff, you know. And the people that check out your stuff are average dudes like you and I, where you want to hear in the context of how you speak at a gig or how you would just chat online and stuff. And I think that's the kind of engagement that you want to go for. And also, like, I have had people asking about monetization and ads and everything, but given a chance, I will only do it if it involves a local promoter or a local product. I think that will only be the only exception to the rule, because the whole idea of coming up with content such as podcasts or a video series is to give exposure to our local artists. And if it's along those lines, then I think that would be a more feasible idea. But if it's your, I don't know, like your typical ad that you see for 5 seconds on YouTube, I don't think I want that, because then people will be disinterested. Like no one wants to hear advertisements. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
Like you watch on YouTube,
exactly.
like do you really want to watch the whole 2 minutes about how you're gonna make money through social media marketing? No, I don't think so. Like you're just click the shit off, man.
Yeah, because I've been listening to the Chris D'Elia podcast. He's a comedian. He's a stand-up comedian, and then he started his own podcast as well. I've been listening to him. He's he's quite funny. It's like very like dark humor, like him making fun of people and shit. But he does like ads in his podcast. So like somewhere in between his 1 hour, like he'll suddenly like talk about a product. Like he'll just say, okay, we're gonna go for an ad break. So this is a product that I've been using, blah 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 blah. But the thing that's interesting is because he advertises the product in his own way. Like he was advertising a product for manscaping. Then like he was saying in his own way where like you're in quarantine, you want to fuck your wife, and then like you just at least want to look good while doing it, that kind of thing. So he says it in his own way. So that was okay. Like that's pretty interesting. Yeah. Then so actually you're right though. Like if let's say you were to monetize your content, it would be good if you do it for like local stuff.
Yeah,
That would be way better. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
because it complements your whole product as well, and it's always good to give something back through our own community. And what better way than to allow them to have a platform to maybe plug their stuff and everything. It's
Yeah.
basically like how it used to be like on the radio, where bands would used to send CDs to the radio station and they would ask them to play. And
Yeah.
now with like the age, I think the game plan has changed. Everything is now done via digital platforms. No longer you be listening to talk shows via the radio and such. Now there are so many options to choose from.
Mm.
And if we were talking about local content, I know for a fact that we have friends or people who are fans of what we do. They want to hear what we have to offer, but it needs to be something that resonate with them on a personal level.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
True.
that's where your podcast comes in, because you address about things that are sometimes lighthearted, yes, but also serious in nature, which I totally respect, because you are not sugarcoating anything. You talk about things
Mm-hmm.
straight up, like racism and relationships and supporting your friends and such. And I feel that these are the things that people do not want to talk about, or they try to talk about it, but they always beat about the bush, and they go into like the whole passive aggressive thing, which I feel does not address the issue at all.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
through your podcast, where you just talk about these things head on, and also like addressing things that you had to face while growing up, because like you and I, man, we're not your um typical kid in Singapore growing up. Like we come from like
Yeah.
various backgrounds, and
Yeah.
our
That's
journeys
true.
are pretty much the same, in the sense that when we were in school and such, we get bullied, we get made fun of, or people just criticize for what we do. But thankfully, I'm so glad that this happened to me, and also like to you, because it's ammunition to build you up, and to work even harder towards the things that you do, I would say.
Yes, for sure. I
But
think
speaking,
that's what. Sorry,
sorry,
you
oh
saying
yeah,
I interrupted
but
you.
no worries. But speaking of which, we were talking about criticism. How do you channel that, or how do you deal with it now as an adult, when you are now doing both a podcast and also being in a band?
Okay, like if I'm being honest, I've not really experienced racism in our local music, in our local community, like our music scene. I've not experienced it for definitely. Like if anyone were to like, okay, like let's be honest here. If anyone was to be like racist in our scene, right, they'll be called the fuck out and they'll be cancelled so fast. You know what I mean? Like the community is just built that way. Like we're all about um being united together, and like it doesn't matter what race you come from, doesn't matter what sort of attraction you have, that kind of thing, right? So it doesn't matter. That's what our local music community is supposed to be. So but so that's like talking about like music. In terms of like other than that, like being outside and everything, there's definitely discrimination in the workforce. There's definitely discrimination, like even tiny things like sitting in the MRT and then like when you sit next to somebody, he walks off, that kind of thing. He or she just walks off when you sit next to them and decides to sit somewhere else. It's just tiny things because like you're like a hairy Indian man sitting next to them. Yeah,
Who's probably
it
drunk from day drinking and creating a kind of kingfisher on one hand or something.
yeah,
Wow.
bro. Like yeah, you know, I fucking hate like I hate when like my I wouldn't say friends, but like people that I've met, they're like, hey bro, you gotta go drink, then go home, beat your wife, is it? That kind of thing. Fuck you. Like just like fuck off. Really hate that so much.
I,
The
I,
discrimination.
it's just bloody. I said it's just bloody up. And like you say, when you do these kind of things, especially in our circles, man, there is no place for such things. You get
Yeah.
called up pretty quickly. And I said to you, like, sometimes when I go on Twitter, when I see certain things, and I'm just like, just thinking out, like, I just get my masala and go like, oh, interesting.
Yeah,
And I think that's good.
definitely.
I think that's good as well because there's no place for such things in a, in a very small community in Singapore as well. Like,
Mhm.
why would you want to do that kind of thing? And you're right, like in a sense, our local music scene, there's no place for such things because everyone's just there to have a good time, and that's what it matters the most as well.
Yeah,
But I
that's the
gotta,
most important thing.
and I also gotta say, like, you are pretty much one of the busiest people that I know, man. Like
Yeah.
you put your head in every single thing. Like, just tell us as of now, at present, what bands are you in, as well as
Oh my god.
anthology of what you've done in the past.
I gotta take a sip for that.
It's alright, man.
Okay. Oh man. Okay, so I started playing music when I was probably okay. I first picked up guitar when I was 15. So I'm okay. Just like context, I'm 29 this year. So picked up guitar when I was 15. Got into my first band when I was 17, probably like yeah, about 16, 17. Like playing like a band. Didn't play any shows. My first show was when I was I don't know, man, like 18 or something. That was my first local show. It was at FAD Studios. Very old. Yeah,
I've not
have
heard.
you heard the name in long? You haven't heard the
I've
name
not
in a
heard.
long time, right?
No, that's a long.
Yeah,
That's never not heard in such a long time. That
yeah, exactly. So that's my first show. I was playing for like a Oasis cover band. We were called Supernova. So that was the first band ever that I ever had, and then moved on to so many things. Oh man, I can't even like remember everything, but um, this is not the first time I've heard this, but a lot of people know that like I do so many things. So currently, um, okay, so I play bass for a hardcore band called Losing End. I play guitar for a metalcore band called Terriot, and I play guitar for a post rock slash post metal band called Summations. That's my pride and joy. That's my baby right there.
and that's the band that you
And
have that dog,
then
Zoo.
yes, that's the one. Yeah, and then so apart from that, I run uh, a promotion slash like we run I run a team called we I run a team with a bunch of friends called Disrupt. So we do shows like we organize shows and we bring in like international acts to Singapore. We've done like a couple of bands like Counterparts, Straight from the Path, Turnstile, Movements, Alpha Wolf, Yeah, so that's like a few of them. So we organize those shows, bring them in, and apart from that, I also manage a psychedelic rock band called Saints Among Sinners. They're a bunch of kids, like very very young, like not very young, like 21, 22, 23, around the age group. So like I manage that band. um so initially before COVID happened, like I was basically doing like freelance work. I was a sound engineer, I was composing music, I was writing, I was producing, I was playing shows, like I was playing for money basically, if that makes any sense.
Sean, it's called freelancing.
Yeah, freelancing. I was just doing everything. Yeah, I was just like doing everything basically just to make some money. And then yeah, that was before COVID happened. So the moment COVID happened, like all the events started canceling and everything, right?
Yeah.
So I knew that I was gonna be fucked. Like I immediately knew that, like, okay, my industry is gonna be fucked, and I knew it very early. Like I saw it coming. The moment the shows that I was booked for, they started getting cancelled. I knew that, okay, fuck this. I cannot wait for anything to happen. I'm gonna go out and find a job. So go and find a full-time job. So that's what I did. I'm currently working somewhere that is confidential. I cannot say, but yeah, I'm not allowed to say what I'm doing. But it's nothing much. It's nothing much. It's just like I just cannot say where. But I'm working as
It,
a sound engineer as well.
it's
Yeah.
fine. I mean, honestly, like some of us don't have exactly interesting day jobs, or we don't want to talk about it, which is okay because I think that's not the whole point of this like video chat as well. Like to me, we all need to find means and ways to earn a living, and I think it's really fine. Like even if it's the most mundane job on earth, it's okay. You know, like I have a very boring job. Like I deal with immigration matters, for example, and I don't even talk about it that much because to me it's like I'm just there for the money. Let's be honest. I'm just there to get paid.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
what I do on the side is my real passion, and
Exactly. Exactly. I completely agree with you. Yeah.
that's the thing that makes us happy. Like for you, when you handle like music matters and such, like that's where your real joy comes from, you know. And you do this without feeling too what do you call it, disenchanted, so to speak, because I know some people like
Mm-hmm.
when they use it as part of their careers, at some point they become like very angry or becoming upset and stuff. But for you, you see it as happiness, or like your happy pill to get away from like the usual
Mm-hmm.
boring stuff that you do at work. Besides, like I would say, like at work, there's probably the possibility where you won't even talk about these kind of things with the people that you work
Yeah.
with because
I
they're not
don't.
into the same thing.
Yeah.
Like there are people that I work with, they talk about like families and stuff, and I'm just like, okay, but I do not know how to relate to this. But I would say as well, like in the capacity of a sound engineer, and I've seen you behind the board for a couple of events as well.
Yeah.
There is my perception of you as some sort of a mentor as well. This is also evidenced by you managing Sins Among Sinners. But do you
Yes.
have had younger bands coming up to you asking for advice or trying to learn something from you as well during these shows?
Yeah, definitely. There's always like, okay, the thing about like our generation compared to the younger generation, right? Our generation was kind of built on just going out there and getting things done. Okay, like there's completely nothing wrong with this. Like I think it's fine. We made our way and we made our way up through that method. But the younger kids are more um like, if they don't know something, they will ask. And I see it as a good thing as well, because some of these kids will just come up to me and say like, hey, could you like tell me how do you do this, like how do you make this sound like this? And then like I'll be like, yeah, sure, like let's go out and have a smoke and we'll talk about it. So that's how I just realized that was such a bad influence thing.
that's no, that's mentorship 101, man. It's like
Yeah, you always make the best friends at the smoking area.
you want to learn something, kid? Come, let's go smoke.
But yeah, so like I like that. I actually like that because like I wish I had like the guts to go up to like a fellow veteran and ask him like, hey, like could you teach me this? But I didn't because I was scared back then. You know, I was just like, okay, cool, just like sit there,
And you know what?
and
I can totally relate with you on this one as well because when I first like when I first like started like getting immersed into like local shows and everything, there are times where like I feel like doing this. I feel like wanting to like get things and stuff, and you see people doing like maybe videos or interviews and such, and I want to learn from them, because it's something that I was really interested in, like
mm,
basically the back end stuff supporting our local scene. But I felt so apprehensive because like these guys sometimes they have that kind of vibe or that aura where you are like, okay, maybe I shouldn't bother them and stuff. Maybe I'll figure this
yeah,
out.
yeah, exactly. So that's how I felt. So when the younger kids were approaching us about these things, right? Like I was just like, yeah, okay, come, let me teach you, because like I didn't want them to feel how we felt. Yeah, that's why. Um, yeah, pretty much that. Yeah,
I say it's also kind of amazing as well because now we are the individuals, or we are now the generation in which kids look up to us. It used to be the case
yeah,
where we are the ones going for shows and we are looking up to all this. Like I got to use a local term, like those abangs. Like you see them,
yeah.
you're like,
Exactly.
man, those guys are so cool, man. Whoa, those guys have like crazy stage presence, and yet you're just like, wow, I'm too shy to talk to them.
Yeah, exactly. It's funny because like I used to really love this local band called Avalanche.
Oh yeah, I heard them. Yes.
Yeah, I used to really love them. Like that was like really my thing. And then it's funny because like only a few years ago, right? Like I got to talk to them. Not really talk to them lah. Like I got close to them. Like we were usually like back then at the point of time, I'd be like, hi, like how are you? Like can I buy your CD? The kind of thing. But then like now we're just like like we're like on house party and like just talking to each other. We're just like, hey, fuck you lah, that kind of thing. It's so weird because like back then I was so scared of them, right? But then now we're just like friends. So yeah, it's quite cool. It's quite cool.
It's the same thing I get with like Truth Be Known as well, if you heard them. So when I
Yeah, of
first
course, yeah.
went for some of their few shows, and I was so mesmerized by their showmanship and the song and the presence and everything. And like
Mm.
Subash, like he's a big lad, like he's
Oh
looks
yeah,
really
yeah,
intimidating and stuff. And you're just like scratching your chin, you're like, oh shit, what do I tell
yeah.
you? So there was one day, I just came up to this like, hey, I really like your set, man. You guys like really awesome. Like that make scared. I'm so scared of you kind of voice.
I know what you mean.
And Subash like right away just like, hey, thanks, bro, thanks, hey, thank you so much, man, bro. Hey, come on, you want to buy like some merch? I'm like, okay.
I
This is
remember I
this is like a 22-year-old like young adult, and he's like so afraid of these guys.
exactly. I know I completely know how you feel. Was it you or someone like I don't know whether it was you or someone else, but they posted a soft post about Truth Be Known playing at Guest House or something quite recently.
It was definitely not me.
Okay, sorry.
Just kidding.
Somebody brought up a soft post um from I think 2007 of Truth Be Known advertising a gig at Guest House. So like it was quite nostalgic because like back then, like how would we know about shows, right? We'll go to Soft and Life and find out like when's the next show, that kind of thing. There was no like form of like Instagram or anything. We would like scroll through and like, oh, there's a show this weekend, that kind of thing. So it's like how we went from that to that, right? It's like, wow, fuck, like we really progressed
Yeah,
as in
I
local
agree,
music.
man. I think we progressed like vastly, man. Like I think back then, like the only way, like you say, like the only way you would know about shows is going through soft. And for those who do not know what soft is, you are either too
Oh
young
yeah,
to be
sorry.
watching this, or clearly you have the blessings of Facebook by then. So soft is a local music forum where they'll post threads and stuff. Okay, so for the younger generation, if you need a parallel, it's like Reddit. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. Yes.
So now the young ones are like, oh right, that's how it works. Because I'm trying my best to like connect the bridge between like all generations, man. So that's why I always try to
Yeah.
get like a
Yeah.
variety of people to interview. So and there was especially like people who kind of, I would say, follow us. When they hear these things, they'll be like, what is a soft? And then when you tell them like, oh yeah, soft has been around since then, they'll be like, oh, but I wasn't even born. And you're like, sorry. Hey, dude, you'll be surprised, man. Like,
No.
no, you'll be surprised the 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 age group of people that go for shows now, like they're like really young.
Yeah. It's crazy. There was this dude at a show. So Distraught was doing his show. Then this guy came up and he said like he was in primary 5. Then I was like, what? He went in for the show. Like we tagged him as like no alcohol, the kind of thing. But then I'm just like, what was I doing when I was in primary 5? Like I don't even remember being like interested in local shows. And like I don't even remember my parents letting me out of the house at primary 5, if I really think about it.
I can simply tell you that since we have similar backgrounds and such, and we are around the same age group, I can tell you safely that we definitely do not know anything about local music back then.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
And if
I
you
don't remember.
if you really think our parents would let us out at primary 5, boy, you're so wrong.
I think like when I was in primary 5, right, that's when the whole WCW and WWE invasion thing just happened. Like if I remember correctly.
Yeah, thereabouts. It's
I
around.
think
And I think that was the only thing that kept us engaged, man. And you tell me things
yeah.
about like going for like local shows and everything. And this is why I'm also like kind of, I won't say I'm envious, but I find it really cool when guys who are like in their late 30s or 40s, around those age groups, they start bringing their children for shows.
Oh, yeah. It's cute. It's damn cute. Yeah.
And this is only something that I would normally see like in Europe, for example, where
Oh,
it's
okay.
a normal thing. But now you're seeing it in Singapore as well, and you're just like, wow, you are really progressing. Now parents are actually bring their kids for shows and everything. And I think it's really cool because it provides like a continuity to our local scene. I think that's the one thing that we really need right now. Like, especially in this day and age where I would say that the younger generation, I think it's gonna be even harder for them to get into our kind of music because they would rather be doing something else. Like they would not be too asked about picking up an instrument or wanting to learn something new because of their attention span where they feel that, oh, I want to learn the guitar, but it's so hard. And they just give up. And that's the thing. Like I think for us, our generation was we do something, even if we were to mess things up, we're basically suckers for play. We're like, yeah, we messed it up. Let's do this again, man. And we are so driven by that because we don't have that many technological distractions as compared to now. As in, like
That
maybe
hit me quite hard though.
it is kind of
Yeah.
hard. I mean, like I think if I were a 50-year-old now, I think I'll probably be doing like a TikTok video or something, man.
I mean, definitely. We'll definitely be into TikTok if we were 15 right now. But oh my god, yeah, that hit me quite hard. Like it's just like the basis of is in like the generation now isn't as driven as how we were back then. Yeah, and the attention span also. No, this just like it just hit me. Yeah, so sorry. Yeah,
Does
I'm.
it?
Yeah, it's just like wow. Okay, that makes sense. But so how do we encourage the younger generation to get into music? Like not even about local music already, because like
No,
that's like another battle
no,
completely.
that's like a step too far, man. Let's be honest. Like most of the people that I know, like they didn't start off with local music right away. Unless you're born to that kind of environment, then yes, maybe you have that luxury. But
Yeah.
it's always about introduction to the Western bands, like the big ones and stuff. And I would say that at the end of the day, we are still blessed with the we were still blessed with the technology as well because we have Spotify, we have YouTube, we have all these things as well. It's no longer the case where like where we had to go to like all the way to the Esplanade's library to borrow like a copy of Kerrang.
Oh my god, yeah.
You too.
Oh my God, no, I didn't do it, but like I remember going to. Ah, fuck, I can't remember. Okay, I remember it was at Funan. It was this like magazine shop in Funan. Then like that was the only place where they had the Guitar World magazine.
I think I know what you're talking. I know which shop you're talking about in particular. Yes, I remember this. Yeah,
Yeah. It's somewhere. It's like diagonally facing the KFC, Taco Bell. This is like
wait,
the old Funan, like the fucking old Funan. Yeah. Then yeah, I remember that. I remember that. I remember like that feeling, like having like access to like, oh, magazines were really the in thing back then, man. I still remember that shit.
it was. It was basically my staple. I think that was also the reason why I decided to go into content creation, because when I read through these
Oh,
things,
okay.
and then you feel like, oh, actually, these guys are actually being paid to write about music. They're actually paid to interview bands. Like, crap, like I want to do that as well, man, because obviously that's up my alley. And I think that's
Yeah.
where my curiosity for all things creative came about as well. And man, I used to remember, man, I think it was every Saturday, or maybe I'll say every Saturday, I would just go to the Esplanade Library and just borrow like old copies of Correct, because to me it was like, doesn't matter like what week it was, man. I just want to check out bands, And that was like the
Yeah.
only form, because YouTube was still its infancy, and obviously like with the amount of money that I had back then, like I couldn't afford to buy every single CD. So
Mm-hmm.
you gotta qualify what you want to listen to and such. And sometimes Correct have like free CDs and everything.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And that's how I discovered like bands like him and Joe Bodum and 69 Eyes. And of course like the glorious trio of our teenage years, man. A Trio, Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh my god, yeah. I haven't heard all these bands in so long. Like I've just been listening to new music now. I mean nothing wrong with that, I guess, but yeah, I grew up with that kind of music. So like I don't know what transitioned me into what I am today, I guess.
I
I
would
don't
say
know.
because these guys are like gateway bands, because that's it's like
Yeah.
the trickle down effect, though. Like once you listen like this group of bands, you will move on to like the next set of bands, next set of bands, and then it just goes down and on and on, and then you start exploring more bands as a result. And I think that
Yeah.
really helps in our music education, because again, like we are a generation where we had to discover things for ourselves. We had to find resources to quench our thirst for musical content, because there was no
Yeah.
Spotify. We cannot afford to buy 12 CDs in 1 month,
Yeah, I
especially
remember that.
especially your secondary school allowance, man. Like, dude, I can't afford like I remember I had to literally like save up a month's worth of money just to buy like 2 CDs and stuff, man.
Oh my god,
And this
yeah.
was when HMV was still around at Heron.
Oh wow, okay, yeah.
And you remember
I
the prices
remember
for
that.
remember the prices for
Yeah,
them?
crazy prices. Like even you know what's the worst part? Like the underground bands, right, are more expensive than the mainstream bands. I
Yeah.
remember.
I think
Yeah.
that was also how like I think after a while, like after some exploration and everything, and that was where I discovered Inoki, which is still at Far East.
Oh, Inoki, yeah.
Back then, man, as a 17-year-old, that was like your pilgrimage. When you go to Inoki, you're like, oh man, it's like the newest like edition of Metal Hammer. Oh my god, this is like what's it? And then Chan would be like giving recommendations and everything, and I really thank him for that, because if it wasn't him, I wouldn't know about like some of these bands that I will listen to right now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's pretty knowledgeable,
Oh,
and he'll tell you like, oh, you may if you like this band, you can check out this band and such. And I get my musical knowledge from him as a result.
yeah,
And
he's
when
cool, man.
yeah, he's really cool, man. Like he's one of the most down to earth guys I've ever known. And
Yeah,
I
I
think
mean, I worked with him before. Yeah.
oh, okay, have you?
No, as in like, he was doing a show for this band called We Came as Romans, and one of my old band, I Devotion, we opened for them. So managed to talk to him. Like he was the one that let us, like open for Weekends Roman. So that was fun.
And I remember I Devotion. Weren't
Yeah,
you,
man.
weren't you the guys who wear babies?
Yeah, I really miss I Devotion, to be honest. Like I'm actually sitting like before we broke up, right? Like I wrote like 13. I write pretty much everything for the band, like in terms of like song structure and everything. Then everyone comes in to like sprinkle their magic and shit. But like before we ended things, like I was sitting on an entire album of material I'm that is still in my computer right now that I'm not gonna release. Yeah, that's the
Mm.
sad truth.
You can always wait when you're like in your 40s and such that you list like compilation of rarities and B-sides and stuff, man.
Yeah. So I was actually thinking of that. So that I was thinking like I was like briefly speaking with to my bandmates about it. I was saying like, like we should just play like a five, or like we should just play another show in 5 years, right? Then release a CD or like a thumb drive of all the like the B sides and all the unfinished material that we have. Then we like sell it for like $10 or something.
Or you can list out your music to TikTok, man, and then you can monetize out of it.
You
'Cause,
know, iDevotion's music is actually on TikTok. Fun fact.
what? Are you serious?
Yes, yes, iDevotion music is actually on TikTok.
Oh my
Like
god.
I got I got an email. I actually got an email. Then like they were saying like, would you like to distribute your music to TikTok? I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And that was the point that TikTok wasn't popular. So like I was just like, okay, like go ahead. And then now that TikTok is such an in thing, right? I was just like, damn.
Wow, like I was just joking about it, and it turns out to be something that that actually
Yeah.
happened. Wow, that's crazy, man.
Like I think I'll just like briefly, very fast, just like show you. Like I did a TikTok of myself listening to iDevotion. Sorry, I'll find it. Then you can so you can see at the bottom here that like the cover art is here. Yeah.
Oh boy,
So yep. So sellouts, I guess. I don't know.
it's gay, man. I mean, at least you get some money out of it. I think.
I don't know. I don't know how much. I don't know. I haven't even checked like whether we made any money or not.
You know,
But yeah.
since we're talking about like trying to get music to the youths, I think this is like our evil plan. We're gonna like
Yeah.
release more
Okay.
music.
Maybe that's the way. One of my friends was saying that like he thinks that TikTok will take over Instagram eventually.
I would say yes and no.
Yeah.
I have both because I use TikTok for a very interesting reason. Like I use it because I see content creators who post stuff about digital marketing, which I'm into. So I've been
Mm.
learning a lot from there, and a few language-based creators as well. So I guess they can. I mean, like TikTok will definitely have a niche audience and stuff, but it's really hard for you to eclipse what Instagram does because Instagram is practically just upping your game every single moment, you know? Like first it started off with just photos and then videos and then now you talk about
Oh
stories
yeah.
and IGTV and stuff.
Everything,
So
man. Like Instagram is the in thing right now.
I agree. I barely use like Facebook right now. Like to me it's mostly Instagram. So even YouTube, man. Like no one really uses YouTube anymore. Like when I release my content, like you realize that I also put it on IGTV because people are more
Yeah,
inclined
IGTV. Yeah.
towards IGTV now than
Mm-hmm.
YouTube.
That's true. That's true. Because like I think like content creators also like sort of like straight away from YouTube because of all the monetization and all like the like no the it's like it started getting harder to monetize your videos, and like um a lot of things were just like cut out. And I was watching all these videos of like all these YouTubers were like complaining about YouTube not paying them properly and all that.
Yeah.
So like I think that's why people are not using YouTube anymore. Like I know of this YouTuber called Gerald Laundry. Like he straight up just quit YouTube.
Oh yeah, I know that guy. Oh, that explains why. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, he just straight up quit YouTube because like he wasn't making money because of like the new law, the new rules and the new laws on monetizing your videos. And then he was just like, "Fuck this, I'm out." Yeah.
I think that's also like this is also why, like for us, we constantly have to keep our fingers on the pulse, because if we were to just rely on the traditional social media platforms, it has gone to a point where this traditional platforms like Facebook or YouTube, for example, it is becoming more and more obsolete. No one really uses it anymore. It's becoming more like your parents' social media,
Yeah. Correct. That's true.
right?
That's true. That's
Like
true. Yeah.
I go on Facebook, like I feel as though like I'm in a family gathering, you know.
Yeah, man. Like, have you stumbled upon the COVIDians group on Facebook?
I've heard stories about it, but I'm not gonna go into that.
No, don't. Like, I still follow the group only because like I just want to keep track of what the fuck is going on with these people. But like, it's never good. Like, it's never been like, ah, man, the people there are just horrible.
I don't want to explore. I don't want to touch it with like a 10-foot pole, man. I mean, there are just some things that should never be touched. So there are three things that I'll
Yeah.
probably not touch, like stupid Facebook groups, discussions with narrow-minded people,
Mm-hmm.
and WhatsApp messages sent from family groups, because that's full of shit.
You know what's this? What's the most stupidest thing you've received in a WhatsApp family group? I just want to know. I have it. I have it in my mind right now. I have the stupidest thing in my mind right now. I just want to hear yours first.
Wow, mine was like some link and then like basically like bullshit stuff and saying that, oh, you know, if you do this, then this will be basically like hoax cures and stuff. And you know, if you do this, then you'll be more spiritually cleansed and sort of shit. Basically religious stuff, man. Like the moment I see the words better yourself spiritually, blah
Oh
blah blah,
my
and God and
god.
stuff, I am noping the fuck up because I'm an atheist and I'm proud of it. So when I hear these things, and then obviously it's a family group chat, so you cannot go like,
Yeah.
nah, this is bullshit. You just scene. I don't say anything. And it's always the same old culprits, man. So if anyone from my family would be listening, watching to this, guys, please stop. It's not real, man. Stop lying to
Uh.
yourself, man.
Okay. I mean, I think the stupidest thing I've heard is that you should cut up ginger and put it in between your arms, like your armpits, like put in your armpits and go to sleep. And if you do that, you will not get the COVID virus. Let that sink in, man. Like, if you cut up ginger, put it in your armpits and go to sleep, you will not get the COVID virus.
Wow, you know what? I think that's like the cure to every single infected person right now. That's
Yeah, bro, like totally.
that's all fucking harvest ginger right now, man.
Why aren't doctors doing this? Why aren't doctors doing this to the people in the, people suffering in the Changi Expo, and like all the quarantine facilities? Like, why aren't they doing this?
Man, they're missing out, man. They're not ahead of the curve, man. These guys definitely need and they definitely need to be socially engaged digitally so that they can get up to date information, man. Because clearly, those people who follow those messages, they know what they're talking about, man.
Yeah,
Totally,
exactly.
man.
They know exactly what they're talking about, bro.
In fact, tonight, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna donate a sack full of ginger to like the nearest hospital because it's gotta fucking work.
That's the shitty thing. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like that like just thinking about it, right? Like, how does putting ginger in your armpits help you not get COVID? Like, and if it's really true, right? Like, wouldn't doctors have like figured this out like way back? And like, we wouldn't be hitting 31,000 cases now. You know what I mean?
Precisely. Now, this is also why we keep getting like daily cases because of idiots like that. But speaking of which, you know how the only time ginger will actually work is if it goes into my tea. Then it becomes teh, man.
Yes, correct.
Good
Yeah. I was
stuff.
gonna say that. I was gonna say that. If we stay earlier, then it works, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty about. I think for us as well. Like we definitely debunk like the whole stereotype of people thinking that, oh, these guys are doing all these things and they are prominent on social media and stuff. But then deep
Mhm.
down, we are just regular dudes, that will just talk about stuff.
Yeah, exactly. we talk so much shit, dude. Like, you know, I recently, not recently, like I've been friends with this guy named Martin for like years. He's the singer for Saints Among Sinners, and like when we first met, in 2016 or 17, like we became friends because he said like he looks up to what I do in music and everything, and then he was just asking for advice on like promotion and distribution and advertising of music and all that. And then like we became friends from there, and then we started doing shows together, like organizing shows together and everything, right? And then now like we just shit talk all the time. Like there is no barrier of like mentorship there anymore, you know.
And I think that's really cool as well. And I think this is why like we are the generation that really changes all of that misconception and the erecting of barriers as well. Because I feel like unfortunately the generation before us, there are still remnants of that, you know, where they feel that they are like the
Yeah.
gatekeepers, or they feel like they are the authority to tell you what to do and such.
Fuck gatekeeping, dude. Like I'm so like just fuck gatekeeping.
Yeah. And I would say that our generation, primarily, I would not say all, because there are some who would brown nose to these people. And this is like the
Yeah.
wrong kind of worshipping. Like, you should not be like looking out on these people, because these guys, I don't care what band they're from, I don't care what kind of cult status that they achieve, but if these people have like idiotic opinions, don't listen to them. Like,
Yeah.
don't you can still like their music maybe if that's what you are into, but if they spout shit on Facebook, ironically, you should be using your brains, man. And I'm so glad that our generation is that bunch of people that provides mentorship to people around us, and as well as like up and coming the up and coming generation that sees us as mentors as well. Like, I don't see myself as a like the go-to guy, but if someone comes up to me and they ask me about, hey, how do you do this, and what do you use to capture videos and stuff, like, I'm more than happy to tell them, because what I'm doing is for fun, is for passion. And if let's say that kid takes that my idea and makes it better, then I'll be happy for the kid, man, because he or
Mm.
she is able to take it further, and it's for the shared interest of our community. And I think you probably feel the same way as well. Like, if someone else comes along and they ask you for like tutelage and you provide that kind of help, and he or she goes on to greater heights, I think you would feel happy for them, because
Mm-hmm.
at least these guys had the drive and determination to go about doing so.
Yeah. That's the thing. Because I think the most important thing about being in mentors, right, is like we have to not be we can't be teachers, you know? Like you know how we were scared of our teachers back then in secondary school and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can't give them that vibe. We need to be like be friends, sort of. I think this is okay. Like because I was talking about speaking of gatekeeping, right? The funny thing is like you would expect that the most serious form of gatekeeping would be in the metal scene, right? But the funny thing is I did not experience gatekeeping in the metal scene. Like I experienced gatekeeping in the hardcore scene when I first got into it.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. And like the even the veterans of like the hardcore scene now that I hang out with, I tell them straight that like when I first started getting into this, like I really experienced gatekeeping. Like I really felt that I wasn't welcome here. Yeah. And then like the funny thing is I felt the most like safest in the metal scene actually.
Man, you gotta warm the hearts of those metalheads out there, man. They're gonna be caught and stuff, and they hear you say these kind of things, they'll be like, oh man, thanks, dude.
No, that's the thing because like you would expect like these like guys in black wearing like Satan like t-shirts with like Satan on them and everything. You would think that that is the scene where they would gatekeep and you'd be scared, right? But like I did not. I felt the safe. I felt like as a kid, like not really a kid, right? But like at 19, 20, like at 19, 20 years old, like that was the scene where I didn't feel like ostracized. I didn't feel like I didn't belong there. Yeah.
I'll say so as well. Like, ironically for me as well, like, I mean, I was in the whole Gothic community as well and everything, and
Mhm.
you would think that that community would be more open to like alternative people, But I felt
Yeah.
more welcome in the rock metal community because these guys are like, they're like, yeah, you know what? Screw life. Let's go in there, mosh, and then we get a beer and stuff. And I
Yeah,
think,
yeah,
this is where I would say that in the future, I hope this is something that will still take place, for us. And to conclude our conversation, I just need to get your final word on
Oh
one thing.
shit, I'm so sorry.
No, no,
Like
it's
we
no,
got too
no,
carried away, man.
no, don't
Yeah.
worry about it, man. I think it's all in good fun. I just want
Okay.
to hear your final word, or rather, like your advice to the kids who actually look up to you, and those who feel afraid on approaching like senior figures when they want to start out. Like, what's like the one final thing that you want to say to them?
Um this is super cliche, but this is
You're
what
cliche.
like the the older veterans told me. But if you really want something, you go out there and make it happen and work towards it. If you're if you're punk band or if you're like indie band or can't find shows, like it's just so hard for you to get shows, make your own show. If you can't find people to help distribute your music, distribute it yourself, because that's the only way you are gonna do it. Like, you don't just like, oh man, no one's gonna listen, no one likes my music, I'm just gonna give up. Don't give up, just keep doing it. Like, at some point you will reap the rewards of your hard work in anything you do. No, it doesn't even have to be about local music, because like like local music is always a struggle, and it will always be a struggle. Like, nothing will ever get easier. But if everybody makes the effort, then things will happen. That's what I feel. Yeah.
I'm totally on board with you on that one, man.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
Yes.
And you know what? Now I feel like I'm gonna get some muruku as well.
Bro, go and get that muruku, man.
You
Like,
know
this
what?
week.
I
Oh
need to
yeah,
wait
I
for.
wanted to ask you.
Yeah,
Are you working from home, or like do you still have to go to office and everything?
I work from home, so that's why I'm using this opportunity to do all these videos before the start of the work week. Gotta build out a
That's
catalog,
awesome.
man. Okay. Anyways,
That's awesome.
thank you so much for coming today. It's been fun.
No, thank
It's actually been really fun, man. Seriously.
Yeah, dude, like, I thank you so much for like having me on here. And like, I wish we had more time, because like, I think there's so much more that we can talk about. But that's the thing, every time we meet each other, there's always a lot to catch up on and everything.
I
Yeah.
agree. I think
Yeah.
if there was no limit, I think we have gone on for like maybe like a 3 hour set or something, man.
Yeah, I think so. I feel like, okay, maybe not 3 hours, like we'll probably be too tired by then, but like 2 hours maybe, yeah, for sure.
Hey, do not discount boredom, man. When you're bored, you're like really bored, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, dude. I'll see you around, man. Like, thank you so
Yeah, I'll
much,
see
man.
you around. Thank you for always like sharing my podcast anyway. Like, really, really appreciate it. I really appreciate everyone who like helping me post stuff out for my podcast and getting the traction that I need. Like, really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much, man.
Because I fucking love it. That's why.
Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate that.
No worries, man. I'll still plug your podcast, man. I'm gonna leave a link below so that people can check it out and along some of your projects as well.
Ken, thank you. I play in so many projects, so like maybe you just want to if you really want to mention any of the projects, maybe you can mention Summations, Losing End, and Terriot. Yeah.
Yep, got it. I'll do that.
All right. Thank you so much, Dalif. Thank you so much. Really
Okay.
appreciate this.
I'll see you soon, man.
See you soon, bro. Take care.
Rock on.
Bye bye.